Good afternoon, dear parents, and good afternoon, children. Thanks for joining this session. And this session, yes, this session is all about COVID 19. We are just putting one reminder for this session because already we were knowing that there were so many precautions to be taken, and we were taking also, and that was this pandemic was under control also here in India, and how it started, all those things we know. But still, now what happened is that it has again started growing, no? So profusely, I would say that it has started growing now. And every here and there in the cities, places, and in so many people are now under this pandemic. And what is next? What we should do next is only precautions to be taken. And this session is for the reminder of the precautions, which I think we have now taken it as a bit lightly. That is only the reason, no? As by now, far what happened is that medicines are not there, vaccine is not there, and only the remedy is precautions. The remedy is only precautions. So here is the reminder for this. What precautions were told to us by the government, what precautions were told to us by the government, and there was lockdown, but now the things are coming on a little bit normal, no, every time that serious lockdown can't be taken. So now what our this CBSE also wants, and our government also wants, and they are also giving us the reminders how to take the precautions. So here I'll share a PPT with you all so that we can once again. Yes, here is a screen. Hope the screen is visible to you all. And now I'll tell about this. This is from our government only about the COVID-19 and what precautions we should go for. That something slackness has happened somewhere. Because of that, this virus has again started um just infecting more and more people. Here is the first thing which I would like to discuss is what actually it is. What COVID-19 is. It's only a reminder, okay? We have known a lot about it. But why this is again growing so profusely and it is not under our control, and why it is has again started harming us. So for all those things, we are going to read about this again once, that what it is a coronavirus disease. It started in the year 2019 December. That's why the word 19 is there, COVID 19. It is caused by coronavirus, and as our children know, it is SARS-CoV-2 virus. What are the common symptoms of COVID 19? These are the fever, cough, and difficulty in breathing. Now, if you have these and you are a contact of a laboratory confirmed positive case, suppose these symptoms are there and you have undergone for the test for this and it is a confirmed positive test, then we should immediately call the state helpline number or the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, or to our nearby hospital, or inform our doctor. Now, what was there to for the precautions? These four things are here. First of all is the hand hygiene, respiratory hygiene, social distancing, and took care for the high risk group people. So these all things are told to us. Coming next to this is the modes of transmission. How does this disease gets transmitted? Okay, through sneeze, cough by infected person, then infected droplets they attach to our hands and palm, and this is the thing, our hand and palm is the thing which we with which we touch so many things here and there. And when we touch any surface or person, these droplets get attached on our hand and then these get transferred. And after this, if somebody is sneezing and the infected person is there, this infected droplets may go to the railings and all also, and we are touching those things. Okay, non-living things also, if we are touching wall, railings, where the most of the droplets could have gone, then again it is transferred and the person gets infected. So these things we were knowing. So what we were doing, we have to avoid the handshakes and make keep a social distance. So first of all, what hand hygiene is? Okay, prevention is what to do. Hand hygiene is a way of cleaning one's hands that substantially reduces potential pathogens, that is, harmful germs on the hands. Hand hygiene procedures include hand washing with soap and water for at least 40 seconds or use of 70% alcohol based hand rubs. This all is known to you, dear children and parents. This is a repeated, you might be thinking that these all are the repetition, but if we think about it, what we will find that somewhere we are not doing this now so vigorously as we were doing earlier in the month of March and April. Okay, so this is now what we have to do regarding the hand hygiene. Wash your hands often with soap and water for 40 seconds, especially after you have been in a public place or after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. Then use a hand sanitizer, at least of 70% alcohol based. If soap and water is not available, cover all surfaces of your hands and rub them together until they feel dry. So when we are using the sanitizer, then also there is one condition here. The whole thing, the whole sanitizer should get evaporated and we should have a feeling in our palm that it is now dry. Then only we can say that yes, the hands are sanitized well. Okay. And what we don't have to do, what we should not do, touch your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. For this, I always tell children we should have a habit only that we should not keep on touching our faces every now and then throughout the day. That is a bad habit actually, because it is not for COVID only, it is for everything. Okay, so every time any kind of infection can catch us from our hands only, so we should avoid throughout the day touching our eyes, nose, mouth with unwashed hands. Touch surfaces like doors, knobs and doorbells, elevator buttons. These all we don't have to do. Handrail, support handle, chair backs, ATM surfaces, mobiles, jeep handles, etc. Nowadays, as parents are working or they are going out for some work, because now we are not locked at our home only, no? So we have to go out. But at the same time, whenever we are using ATM or these things, every now and then now again start using the sanitizers and washing the hands. Then prevention of the for the respiratory hygiene. How we can have respiratory hygiene? Respiratory hygiene is a combination of measures taken to stop the spread of germs through respiratory behaviors like coughing or sneezing. So whatever is told to us, no, what all norms we should follow when we are coughing or sneezing. So those things we have to now bring into our practice more. Do use a handkerchief or a tissue to cover your face while coughing or sneezing. Do throw the used tissue immediately into a closed dustbin. Do cover your sneeze into your bent upper arm in case you are not carrying a tissue or a kerchief. That is what this vampire sort of thing was told to us in the beginning only. In the inner elbows, our inner elbows, we can sneeze like this, because then those respiratory droplets will be in our inner side of the elbows. Now, that is called as a vampire sort of sneezing also. Do cover your sneeze into your bent upper arm. Do wash hands immediately after you have covered your sneeze or cough. Sometimes, if we don't have the handkerchief or tissue, we are sneezing like this, then immediately we should remember this, that now I have to go and wash my hand, or I have to use the sanitizer. If we are at home or the place where we can wash, we should immediately go. We should not avoid, not even once. Do not use other ways of covering your face like the pallu of the sari, of the chunni, or the gamcha. Gamcha is a cloth which men you put on their shoulder. So don't use those things for sneezing or coughing. Do not spit in the open. Always use a spittoon or wash basin for spitting. Then here is a case study. Just a case is there. I'll read it out, and I'm giving you a thought for 1 second, 2 second. You just think about yourself what you are going to do in such condition. So here is the case study. Smita has gone out to buy vegetables. She has a sore throat and is often coughing without covering her face. You are in the shop when she comes and suddenly she has a fit of cough. Everyone instantly moves away from her, and the shopkeeper says angrily, "Don't come into my shop if you are coughing." So, this is what the case is. Now, if you were there as a customer, what would you have done? And if you were the shopkeeper, what would you have done? As a health worker, what would you advise or counsel to Smita? While going through the case study, the answers might have come to your mind, that that was the case, what should have been done at that time, and what is expected to be done, I'll share with you. It is good for people to move away and keep a distance. However, as a fellow customer, anyone could give a polite advice to follow the correct respiratory hygiene. It is wrong for the shopkeeper to have shouted at Smita. This is stigmatizing behavior. Though everyone is scared, being rude is not helpful. It will just keep people away from reporting a problem if they feel discriminated against. The shopkeeper can also keep his shop infection free by wiping the counters with a disinfectant regularly. So, here, what stigmatizing behavior is: somebody might be there in your neighborhood who is corona positive, who is going through this disease. Some of your friends may be there, some of your relatives may be there. But if we keep on shouting or behaving like this, then what happens? The people get scared of the disease, and they will not come forward to tell to the even to the doctors or the health workers that this is the disease or these symptoms they are getting, or what they have to get undergo the test and so on, because they are afraid now that how their neighborhood will behave with them. So that is stigmatizing behavior, and the treatment will not be there, and again there is maximum chance of the spread of the disease. So this behavior we should not adopt. Counsel Smita that she must cover her face with a handkerchief when coughing. Suggest her to get medication at the hospitals. Counsel the shopkeeper that anyone can have cough and it need not be coronavirus infection. Such cases you may also encounter, children, where somebody is misbehaving with the patient or the one who is coughing or sneezing. However, anyone can have the infection, and therefore he can help by keeping a box of tissues and hand sanitizer on the counter, or keep a washing station for people to wash their hand. Counsel people on respiratory hygiene. Now here I want to discuss one thing. Still, whenever we are going at public places, in our school, if the parents are coming, or an other offices or bank you are going, you find the sanitizer is there. But is it that the way you were using in the month of March and April, now also you all are using? Are you that much aware? If it is very good. And if it is not, we should again think on this, and we should be alert and conscious now, still more and more. Then here is social distancing. This also we know that we have to keep social distancing, but as the system has changed, people have started going off to offices outside the house. But are we aware when we are at a grocery shop or any other shop that we are at that much distance as we were doing it earlier? So here, social distancing deliberately increases the physical space between people to avoid spreading illness. Staying at least 1 meter away from other people lessens your chances of catching COVID-19. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. This is to be done. Keep a distance of at least 1 meter between yourself and another person. Do not hold events where people have to gather. Like, I feel our students, dear children, might not have started your birthday parties, even if it is a corner meeting with 3 or 4 friends or an evening chat on the chopal. Do not go to crowded places like markets, shopping malls, parties. Do not use public transport. Though public transport has started, but still we should not use so frequently until and unless it is very much necessary. And the last point of our today's session is, these are the people whom we love so much and who are at high risk group. High risk group are people who are at a higher risk from severe illness if they get COVID-19. This includes older adults, our grandparents, our elders in our house, people who have underlying medical conditions like heart disease, diabetes, lung disease, kidney disease, or on cancer medication. So we have to be careful for them. And the pregnant women, as we do not know the impact of the disease on pregnancy as of yet, it is better to take care. Fine. And what happens? Children don't need not to worry that much because their immunity is good. And if suppose the disease is there, it is going to be in the mild condition. Okay, but you can be the carrier and you can transfer to the older people. So we have to keep on taking the precautions. And here I am stopping my screen. Hope this was a gentle reminder to all of you, and for me especially, because we all need this reminder. And our government wanted this to share with you all. Our school wants this. And one very small thing for our children. As of now, our school has not started yet. No, that means the condition is still serious. That is only the basic thing which I would tell on my own, that our school education is must, education is very important, and yet the school has not started. And the government is doing a lot about education. The way they are working, the way the things are being transferred to the children, maybe offline, online, but it is very important thing, and yet our school has not started for the children. Okay, so that means we have to be very alert for this disease, and we have to take complete precautions. Thank you so much, dear parents, for giving your valuable time. Hope the session was informative. You can give your views if the session was informative for you. Okay, should I end? Bye bye. Thank you so much and take care of yourself. Bye, everyone.